Welcome back to this final edition of Feedback. I have had the honor and privilege to host this show for the last 3 years, but tonight it all comes to an end. So tonight I'm taking a look back at some of my favorite feedback moments. Of course, there are more than I could fit into a half-hour show, but I have selected some of my most memorable ones. I've always wanted to fly in a medical helicopter to see how air ambulances work. Well, Feedback gave me that opportunity. Last year, I had the chance to spend an afternoon with the Stat Medevac crew at the Clarion Hospital. I had such a great time and learned so much. Can we take a look around here? What is all in here? I mean, you cram a lot into a pretty small space.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually not bad once you get used to it. You don't have to get up to go anywhere. It's all within reach, though,
True.
so it's really not bad. This here is basically you have your oxygen and your suction unit, just like you'd have in a normal ambulance. You have your light switches and all that right here. You know, they're all clustered together. An onboard Doppler system, so we can listen to fetal heart rates and blood pressures and that in the air. That's one thing in this environment. It's real loud, and we have to wear. That's one reason why we wear the helmets, is so we can hear each other. We also have headsets that we provide to patients who are awake. That way we can talk back and forth to them also, yeah.
Huh. On that afternoon, I actually got to fly in Stat Medevac's helicopter over Clarion, and it was such a neat experience. We also had the opportunity to tour Stat Medevac's Pittsburgh Dispatch Center later in the year, which was also a lot of fun and very informative. Moving on to October of last year, we had a live performance right here in our studio. Pittsburgh jazz singer Lisa Hindmarsh came to Clarion and performed with the Clarion University Jazz Band. It was a first for TV5, a live performance right here in our studio. Here's a look back at some of Lisa's performance.
Happened to pass your doorway, gave you a buzz, that's all. Well, maybe I thought some about you, so I thought I'd pay a social call. Do you recall the old days? We used to have a ball. Now it's not that I'm lonesome without you, I just thought I'd pay a social call. I lie and say things are just grand, but to tell the truth, I haven't been too well. And if you should try and kiss me, well, I promise I won't stall. And maybe we'll get back together, starting from this incidental, elemental, simple social call.
Over these last 3 years, I've had the opportunity to interview some of the greatest people here in Clarion. Our current commissioners have always been loads of fun on this show. Our anchor free-for-alls always proved to be interesting and some of the most fun I had while hosting Feedback. But the guest who has made the most appearances on this show, drumroll please, was Clarion University President Dr. Diane Reinhardt. She has always been more than willing to appear on this program and was always fun and informative. Earlier this month, she was on this very set, and she brought a special visitor with her. Aggie is here. This is her behind. But
let's go this way. There we go.
They'll get her on camera too there. So to get her up here, look at that. To get her up here, what do you have to use?
I gave her an Altoid.
Altoid. So how about that? And what? It doesn't help the breast.
It doesn't help her doggy breast, but she's a good dog. She loves students, and she's very friendly. So when you see her on campus, you know, she'll be the dog that'll run up to you and say hello.
Look at her. She's going for the Altoid.
She's going for another Altoid. But she's 8 years old, And she's been a real good dog for me.
Now, I remember you telling me she grew up on the Clarion campus.
She
really.
did, yeah. She, you know, that's when I lived on the second floor of Moore Hall. And she lived there. And she would, when she was a little puppy, she was on that little porch.
Right, yeah. That's wonderful.
And then she would, she had a little doggy door, so she'd be in the backyard before the fence was taken down.
I like it with the fence down there. So that's a look back at some of my favorite feedback moments. These are just a small portion of all the fun I had while hosting this show. Well, stay with us. Coming up after this final feedback break, my final goodbye.